live. So send it to me.
Okay. Messenger. Oh,
yeah.
Where are
All right.
I have so many windows open.
So many windows to my live.
Uh-huh.
I wrote a poem with those words one time. I can't remember what it is. I have to find it. All right, here we go.
All right. I send you the link.
All right, I got it. Hang on.
Hi. We're already live.
Are you live?
Yeah, we're already live.
Okay.
But
Here we go.
check it out.
Gotta put a video to this. We're just warming up the show. Start in 5 minutes.
Wat is er?
We got a Lyrian in the house.
Yeah.
And that's some fresh beats, brother.
It's a very, very old mix from 2003.
Yeah, I'd like to put a video together with it.
Yeah, we can. You can.
Ah.
You can do whatever with it what you want. It's free to download also.
Right on.
But the music is not my own music, so it's mixed music.
It doesn't matter. It's still a beat. It's got an energy and a flow.
It does.
Very
it
good.
Does.
Man, that's a nice place you got there. Did you paint that on the wall? How'd y'all put that up?
My Zula, yeah. We ordered like a stencil from internet.
Yeah.
Put it against the wall, and with the sponge. It's very, very patient.
Very
patient to do that.
Yeah, nice place. So yeah, I always like doing new things. And as usual, we didn't plan anything. We just came on early and put some music on. Welcome back, Michael. It's good to see you again.
It's great to be here. Thank you, Todd. Good to see you.
We got 44 friends in the house, 45. Hello, everybody.
Right.
Welcome to Soul Speaks 5D. Trying something spontaneously. Oh, I might start rhyming.
Let's see if I can. I only see you and me very little in one screen. Is that right? Or can I change that? I can go to gallery view, right? Yeah.
You're okay, you got it? Okay.
Yeah. I got
All right. Now that you have that worked out, how you been?
Wow. That's a good question. It's been a crazy ride for me. Today I see blurry today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot even squinch my eyes to read through my glasses. The letters are like blurry. And then Denise Chadwick, I was texting with her, and she tells me I'm very blurry today. I said, oh, me too. So that is no coincidence here. So, but how have I been? Wow, many things happened, changed, insights.
You want to talk about it? So let me just tell you, the last 48 hours here has been, actually, it's been going on for a while, but these last 40 hours have been intense, particularly the last 12, I'd say. Like a huge energy came in, and it affects the body. My body's, it's taking a beating.
Yes.
In the energy field. Yeah. In the energy field.
And last week, my feet were very active, like the energy was shooting out of my feet, and my legs very itchy, restless legs, couldn't sleep, strange sleeping patterns.
Yeah.
And then on top of everything, this cat likes to wake us in the morning because he wants either to eat or he wants to go out, and he knows how to do it until you get up. So.
Sounds like a teenager. They only want to talk to you when they want to eat or go out.
And when he wants love, he's also talking. Actually, he's a very demanding cat, but he's a gentleman as well.
Oh, yeah.
So
absolutely, like just like his daddy. So you sent me a bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And sorry, I didn't mean to term it that way. It was a lot of stuff. Hang on.
It was a list.
Yeah. So let's dive into this, man. Let's see. YouMan, YouMan, YOU capital MAN, empowerment, conscious homeopathy. I can never say that word. It's like me trying to say Soulogy. Other people always say Soulology. I can't say homeopathy or whatever it's called.
Uh,
Okay, so conscious, that word. Cells are listening. Topic, new paradigm, parenting. And should I go on?
yeah.
We love to empower you for its raising the vibration collectively. This leads to unity consciousness. Don't trust any system that separates you from your divinity, your source, your true essence. Hell, that's Soulogy.
Oh yeah.
Self-mastery guide, self-realization, self-inquiry, activator, facilitator, system buster, vibrational medicine practitioner, sound light, technology, alchemy. One of the functions of my soul is to restore, rebalance the divine feminine essence, activate others in either repairing or transmuting the old activating languages or decoding capacities through celestial symphonies. that,
So
that took a lot of
that is actually two things in one, because one is conscious conversation, like who's the I, and then there is opening up of talents and abilities, which I do through light language, sound, toning,
yeah.
and but also to take care of people that have pains. Also, the light language and the toning comes in, but it's also conscious conversation. So it's always a mix of.
Yeah. I mean, that's, you know what? You know, the best place I can be for me is in a
Mhm.
conscious conversation, which is no matter what's happening. Like even right now, this morning, the energy was really high. We went through some powerful stuff last night for the second night in a row. Woke up. My body was totally shattered. My mind was sharp. Everything else was sharp. My body was just like, oh shit, what did we do last night? You know, meaning
Uh,
in the sleep time, dream state. But anyway, yeah. So I sitting in this chair for me. So I sit in this chair, have a conscious conversation. So, you know, it's not an interview. So what's the other part of it now? You say one part is a conscious conversation, and what's the other?
and the other are just tools actually to activate stuff, um, like light language. You might be singing light language after an activation, or you might be able to decode or um, a code, whatever. Something is opening up beyond our knowledge, actually.
So
Our knowledge.
energy work basically. You're describing
Yeah.
your
And
yeah. And so I mean, let me ask you this. I haven't asked anybody. I don't think I've ever asked anybody this, but Morgan probably. We probably talked about it. So now that things are moving in this certain trajectory where it's becoming fewer words to our benefit, and we're more energy as a healer. And now you've been a healer energy worker, whatever you want to call it, for a long time. And I know you're very connected. Are you seeing a difference in the people? Are we at a point now where all we got to do is be in front of each other and just shut the fuck up and just
this is
merge our
actually
energies in relaxation and comfortability, and we actually pick up code from each other? Is that are you seeing that?
actually this is what I wanted to talk about, because I experienced like 2.5 years ago something with a little boy of 18 months who was born with the issue. His skull was closed and they had to open it up with surgery. So he had kind of a traumatic experience just when he was born. So he became like chronically sick. His throat and his nose and coughing and a lot of slime and always red around his eyes, and he was always sick in a way. Um, and one day I was sitting with him, and I asked his parents, of course, can I sit with him? So he was sleeping, and I just shared space with him. I went inside the room and I started to talk to him. I put my hand on his chest and I said, "Hi, I'm here. I'm your friend for life, and you and me together are going to talk and look at things. Your parents are very worried, but you don't have to worry because they don't understand it, that you are all right, but you are getting their worry. So that's not necessary." So I had a conscious conversation with who, because
Yeah, yeah,
there's no person there to answer me or to be aware. So something arrived there, and after 1 hour, to cut the story short, he was breathing very, how do you say that? He made a sound like, so after 1 hour, I didn't hear him breathe. He was really quiet, and he was with his hands beside his head, and before he was moving and everything. So in 1 hour of talking, and toning and making sounds and light language, and I don't know, whatever I did, my hand went everywhere, and he was in such a quiet state that in the morning his parents called me, and they said, listen, this never happened before. He slept all through the night, and we had to wake him in the morning. So what happened there, you can wonder, because it's not like you and me having a conversation and there is like an exchange, but there is something happening there, which is actually very, very interesting, especially for parents today and for people in general to understand that what the energy that we bring into a room has an effect. The words that we use, the belief that we carry, they have an effect. The things that we say, but that we think, but don't say, also have an effect.
So there's a conscious conversation that precedes whatever level, or really that is going to dictate what level you're going to connect on in the merging of the two energies, without, beyond the words. So like what you described, it's like the higher self spoke and the higher self listened, and the humans got it, and that level of trust was there, and then this miraculous thing happens. And I guess that's what I was getting at as a healer, having been doing it for many, many years. You, not me. Right.
You're doing it too.
I would
just
think,
by being you.
well, that's what I mean. All of us are. Like
Yes.
The more we are, and you're right, a conscious conversation is, beforehand sets the tone for the level of, non-physical merging, or whatever you want to call it, balance, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Morgan and I were just talking about that. She was talking about it. I was listening yesterday, talking about the same thing. She just wasn't describing it the way you're describing it. She was saying, this is how it works. Basically, that's what she was saying. You have a conscious conversation, and then you interact.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But I think it can go even a level further. Like, we're having a conscious conversation, but this was with a baby, which was not really a conscious conversation like you and me. But still something magical happened there, because there is something that is listening. So even though they cannot communicate with us, we have to be so responsible that what we say and what we think, and the whole day we are so unconscious of and doing all sorts of stuff, and children feel it. But not only children, also grown-up people,
Everybody
feels
it.
Everybody feels it. So there is something to learn there.
So let me ask you this, all right? In that situation, you have to first say the situation itself, whatever it was, had an effect on the baby, right?
Yes.
So, and you also have to say, to some degree or another, you had an effect. And then also the baby had an effect. You know what I mean? I mean, it affects everybody. So
yes,
it's like because we're in transition, we just don't have that immediate telepathy like we might have with a 5-dimensional, other aspect, where it's just telepathic. When people talk about it, I say, "Oh, what'd you see? Who'd you see?" "Oh, they spoke to me telepathically." We're not at that stage, so maybe that's what we have to do. Maybe what we have to do is speak it. Have a conscious conversation with just so that we can be as open as possible, and then you connect. You connect naturally. You connect consciously and unconsciously from that point. I don't know.
Yes.
But I mean, I was going to ask you, what I meant to ask you was, so the baby got something out of it. Did you feel energy come into you? Did you feel code coming into you? You got something out of it. That's where I was going.
I felt an amazing connection. And I felt blessed that I could have this experience.
Yeah.
That it brought me a lot. Actually, what I got from it was what I was giving him. I was giving to myself as well.
Yeah. You were the baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And this is happening more and more. It's going to happen more and more.
Yes.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
Exactly.
You know, the only fear is like, you know, how do I be normal again? Fuck that. We've had enough normal. If we're going to die and be warm dirt, I'd rather be.
I think the future question will be, how can I lose my mind quick?
It's a beautiful ride, though. It's getting, I mean, it's deep and it can be a little bit, I don't want to use the word dark anymore, but intense shadow.
Yeah.
Shadow.
So,
the shadow's like, it's like the backwards visually of what you see in an explosion. You know, usually you see a bunch of white, and then as it billows outward, it gets gray and black. Here it is, the shadows like converges and explodes, and all this light comes out, all this gold. But man, but they're intense lately.
Yes. So you asked me if I see like if people are more opened up, right? That's what was in your question as well. Yeah.
And the second part being, how's that affected you as an energy worker, as a healer? I mean, do the same modalities and processes work? Or are they needed or whatever? But start with the first one.
Say that again.
So, and also how that's affected you as a practitioner. If the people have evolved, are you still using the same processes and modalities? Are things changing? And how, you know what I mean? I mean,
I was visiting my website today and I saw, okay, I have to adjust a lot of stuff can go, because as consciousness or as we are evolving, some stuff is not needed anymore.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
And but I have always pointed people to the true healer inside themselves. You know, I don't want that you are dependent on me. I want to teach you how you can do it yourself. So, but today I see that people are more receptible for a higher looking. They are more receptible to open up and to say, okay, I'm willing to look at things that I usually would maybe not consider. And in my surrounding, I have had a few people meet me last week that maybe a year ago or half a year ago would not have gotten what they gotten this week.
Yeah.
So, so I see a big change in that. It makes the work easier. And
there's a comment here. Hey, Elena Starbuck, my friend in Sedona. There's a comment here, a question that lends to that. And then I have a comment on this. How have you learned not to be how to let negative energies into your energy field? So I would say on a subject like that, and I know nothing, I'm just saying based on what you're talking about, I think that fits. My comment is that anyone, and I think it's all of us, anyone that has certain sensitivities still, where they're still balancing shadow and little nooks and crannies, or even if you're in there's something predominant that you haven't cleared and you just feel like you're not doing enough. We're in energy right now that everybody is elevating. Everybody has the desire and that is conscious You know what I mean? Self-respect, self-love. And that's continues to go like that. I mean, we're doing better than we can imagine. That's what I'm saying. And whatever you're going through, if you stay conscious, shouldn't last too long.
What was the question again?
I would make a comment, but I'm not going to make a comment. So she says, you know, how have you learned not to let negative energies enter your energy field? And I was just, I didn't really answer the question. I was just saying that whatever you're feeling, we're going through things much quicker now. It may be more intense. They may be tough on the body and the mind, mental mind and all that. And maybe even the emotions. Hell, I've seen it. But we're doing good is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
We've come a long way.
Yeah. I don't experience negative energies, or in the way she probably is referring to that, as I am light. So, you know, where there is light, there is light. There is, I don't have to protect myself because I'm a conscious being. So, nothing to be afraid of, nothing to protect myself from, just experience what I'm feeling and observing it and move on.
Yeah. Well, you know, perception. What is shadow? What is negative energy? Negative energy to me in my journey was some scary shit that even you know, manifested as apparitions and stuff like that. But that's just what's the difference between that and shadow? And I'm not trying to make light of it. What I'm trying to say is it's all shadow. It actually is light. You know, you said I am the light. Well, I'm going to say I am the light and I am my shadow undiscovered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's what keeps us going.
I think I like to call shadows conditioning, because there's conditioning and there is stepping out of conditioning.
Yeah.
That's for me how simple it is.
Yeah. And then there's a reality. Look, Pamela Johnson put up this comment. Sad energies being released are part of the process the last days. Don't deny them, ride them out. Over the last 3 or 4 days, Morgan and I both have experienced this. And the subject matter doesn't matter. It's the depth of the sadness and the impression it had on the bodies was a very thick, slow-moving vibration. And I love what she said there. Whatever it is, write it out.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And that's what I said. I'm not pushing nothing away. I'm just reacting to whatever is happening. And we had a talk with someone yesterday or the day before who also said, I suddenly felt so sad and I didn't know why. And you know, it's okay. You don't have to figure it out and go in the thinking and no, just observe it, really experience it without resisting or without trying to understand it, and then things come.
It's profound. We've all gone through these ego deaths, all these little deaths, and some of them you look back on and say, you know, man, I really love that part of me. Like, he was, you know, innocent. He was doing what he liked. He was playing basketball, whatever the case, whatever the label was. And maybe that's what we're heading into collectively. Maybe that's what we're feeling collectively, is this whole experience and what we identified ourselves with in that experience is going away. So it's the one we want to get out of, but as soon as we're out of it, I know we're going to have or maybe that's the way in the door, the deepest respect, honor, and love and reverence for this and all that, all that stuff, all that painful stuff behind it.
Yes, yes. Leaving the conditioning, the programming, that is the job, to really be conscious of what are we thinking, what are we saying. And I cannot say it enough, because it's really something that you know, we most of the day we are unconscious. We are using our subconscious. You know, it's like a program running us. So
I don't know, man. I think we opened the window to the subconscious a while back. I think we're in there saying, hey, there's a new sheriff in town. I'm called intuition and heart, and we love you, subconscious, but fuck off.
yes,
No,
yes,
that's
yes.
the virus. You know, that's
Actually,
the virus.
the mind is not really such a bad thing. It's just we used it in a very inefficient way. So now we are learning
Yeah,
to use it in the for us,
yeah,
to really
yeah.
work for
That's right.
us.
That's right.
So ego can still be okay. Just depends on where you're coming from, because
Yeah,
we still use the mind to understand this and to be able to figure out how computer works so that we can make this connection. So we're using the mind always, but consciously or unconsciously, that makes a difference, as we are always creating something, every
yeah,
thought. So
yeah, yeah. I'm trying. You know what? One thing that came out of this, I think, before the sadness and Pamela's again validated. You know, some of the stuff we go through or write about, and you see somebody else talking about the same thing. Yes, it was strong. It was strong about 3 days ago, I think. I can't remember days, so that we all have that in common too. We can't remember what day was what.
yeah.
He says we are time travelers. Um, yeah, man. I mean, this is you know, I love what Franco said, D Nicola, that was on the show. And he talked about there's an inverted 3D, and then there's the original 3D, then there's, of course, original 5D, and so on. And that basically its attachment is from the ego to that matrix. So basically, and I'm paraphrasing his words, and I may be even misconstruing them a little bit, but the way my brain got it, my mind, my soul, was that, and he used the word obsolete at one point because he was using computer information or computer nomenclature, and is that, I don't know, it put me in this mode of I declare this obsolete. I declare this obsolete. It's not part of my operating system. And now I'm conscious of that, and everything I do, or I'm more conscious of it. I'm not Superman. And everything I'm hearing and taking in. So like you just said a comment a minute ago, we don't use our mind, or we're programmed from the subconscious. And immediately these defenders went up in my antennas going, That's not going to come into the brain. I am no longer that. It is obsolete. You know what I mean? I mean, that's where I'm trying to be funny, but that's where
yes.
it's just moving so fast. It's that great divide that people talk about, but it's like I see us coming up like to the edge of a cliff, and you just keep running, and the cliff just keeps going, and that's
Yes. Everything that is a story is not going to make it anymore.
Yeah.
So, you know, that, so now we have a choice.
Yeah.
Really. There is really a choice.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah. And that is either you accept that or you don't, which is fine. You know, everybody's free to choose.
It's the same choice over and over.
Yes.
That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. The same choice over and over. So if it's the same choice over and over, and I know it sounds a little bit off kilter, but I declare the ego obsolete. I declare fear obsolete. I declare the inverted 3D matrix, or whatever we want to call it, obsolete. I have that ability, you know. We have that ability. We have that ability. I mean, I'm just repeating things I've learned from people, not from me.
So if you would close your eyes and you would say the same, who is I? Would I really say that?
That's some deep, man. That's some deep Far Eastern Hindu Yeah, yogi stuff. Oh, that's good. Why would you even say it? I don't know. Maybe that's the point where you're back to total oneness and, you know, everything, anything. I'm not in a hurry to get back to that point. I think it's just getting fun. I know that day's coming. You know, I know it's coming, and then it'll all be rebirth or whatever. That's what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
I like Pamela Johnson again. Trifecta, third one of the day. His story, history, his story, obsolete. It is now our dream. It is now our dream. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
everything is a dream spell.
Yeah. But I mean, if it's the same question every single time, every moment, every thought that comes in, everything you do, whatever the case is, if it's the same question, and there always is that question, what do you do? And then why wouldn't we just declare that program obsolete? But then you say, why would you ask the question?
Oh, who is saying this?
Who's asking the question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who needs to declare that that is obsolete? That's still the person like using his intellectual, but if you step away from that and where you are eternal, you know, who are you before you came into this body? There you have no more of these things to say.
Well, here's the way I see it. I think we're all up there, our higher selves, to that point of the lineage. There's basically a computer game set up. We're in that game. And it's not about beating the game or anything like that, but it's about programming. And when you realize that you are the one that made the game, then you can start programming it. And you do that, you do that by what you do, which is the creative, movement of sound, light, this is.
Yes. You create consciously.
Yeah.
Actually, intentionally from the heart space. I like to say I'm a heartist, you know. Everything that I do comes from the heart. I don't like to think about things like how it should look and that is very liberating.
Well, what's exciting to me is that there's hard evidence that it's happening. Because if it's happening to my beloved partner, then I know it's happened to me about a day or two later. So I have kind of like but I see it in everybody. I see it all around. I see it when I scan social media, and you can see the growth of people. You can see the openness of people and more acceptance. You can see less and less shadow, less and less shadow, less and less projection. So it's happening, and it's not in my imagination. No. I think we're starting to see real evidence of that. And the other thing is, in those situations, those souls are having things happen in alignment, a house, a job, a relationship, things are falling into place in an unorthodox way. We have to add that.
Yes. Everything is different. Everything is different. Nothing will be the same. Never again. And that's good news.
Maybe that's where that sadness comes in. That Pamela's talking about the mother's experience. Maybe the sadness is it's like a love, like a first love or something like that, and then it ends, and you always have that.
Like saying goodbye in a way. Yeah.
It makes you want to slow it down just a little bit, doesn't it?
Not for me. Not for me. For me it can go even faster. Let's go, guys. I'm all in.
If it's taught me anything, it's taught me stay present. Stay present.
Yeah. Which is quite something in still living in this world, where there's a lot of stuff happening around us. Not everybody's in this.
Pamela Johnson says it's too late to slow it down. Everyone's no slow down. Everybody's like, let's get the F out of here.
Yeah, exactly. Fast tracking, fast tracking. That's what's happening now, and that's why you see that people who didn't get it a few months ago, they suddenly start to ask questions, and after one session, they say, "Wow, holy shit, I got it." I said, "Really, you got it?" "Yeah, I got it." "Oh, wow! So you canceled the next meeting?" "Okay, good."
Yeah, you canceled my next meeting. How am I going to pay my bills? Yeah, it's funny how it all comes out. Yeah, and there's a lot of people. There's a significant number of people, significant enough that in their channels, in their downloads, and transmissions, in their practitionership, where they have clients like QHHT, you hear a lot of. I'm going to start calling these energies something different. You hear a lot of validation from our multidimensional aspects, which are basically saying, you guys have done a hell of a job. Oh my God. I mean, and you have sped it up. You have sped it up. So I think that's credible.
Yes. Yes.
Shaz Hargreaves says, do you want to go faster? If you don't want to slow down, so you can either go faster, stay the same, or slow down.
Buckle up.
You're going to go faster.
I think everything will go faster eventually. It's like exponential, like
I don't know. My feeling is that we're going to land in a place. Okay, so we use biblical terms, not because we believe in any of that. I'm just saying it's just a metaphor. So end times, apocalypse, all the stuff that led up to that, a lot of it you can, and then you have the 2,000 years of peace, or like the 3 days of darkness, 2,000 years of peace, and 2,000 is just a, abstract number. But I think we'll have a period. I don't know, like post-orgasm.
for sure.
No, we're experiencing as high as we can the merging of the physical and the non-physical, whatever vibration we can hold collectively, to at some point, nature and its natural course of things will keep things moving. I don't know. This is maybe that's another way of saying, hey, when you're done, hey, you want to go do another one? Yeah. Free will.
Yes.
So just a quick announcement. Lisi, our dear friend from Norway, Lisi and Damon, she says, miss the music, Todd. All right. So we haven't been able to do the radio shows because of the place that we're living, but what's today? Day after tomorrow, we're going to be at Mandiras in Kapa'a. We're going to stream live 6 to 8 p.m., which is midnight to 1 a.m. New York City. You can figure out the rest of them. But a lot of the world will be able to see it. A lot of our friends, if you want to come in, we're going to be playing videos, just like the radio show. I'll probably do a couple of numbers myself, do some commentary, have a couple of people locally perform. We'll have a camera on them. Just something we're trying to start and or build a bigger, broader Soulogy wave. See what we can do with it. Anyway, thank you. So, what else do you want to talk about?
Well, I wrote down a conscious homeopathy.
What's that?
Which is actually using our mind in a very constructive way to talk to ourselves, like you were just speaking about this guy that was channeling, right? What he would say, this and this is obsolete, right? Correct? That's what you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
I declare this and this.
Well, he was telling me some things, and that's what I said to myself as a result of it. But yeah.
And so what I really want to say is that we really have to start using our consciousness in such a way that we can replace many things, medicines and
Hmm.
aids and whatever. It's us. We are holding all the cards. You know, we have it all. Um, so that is going to be something that is going to change this world.
Yeah.
By if you have a sore toe, think it well. You know, it sounds very weird, but it's really true. You can think your toe well.
I think that's
You
fascinating.
can.
Now, let me ask you, how do you do that? So you have two factors the way I see it. One is the programming of saying that. Two is, why does my toe hurt? So it's like
No.
one. Oh, no, hang on a second. So like
Okay.
one of them. So like one of them is rooted in the subconscious. Like, okay, so if a part of your body's hurting, you can go to that part of your body and say, what is going on here? And it'll show you some trauma when you were a little kid or something, whatever. So you have
Mm.
you have the programming part, and then you have the gaining awareness of shadow, shadow that you didn't know was there part. Is there any other part? Are those the two parts, or what?
Well, if you anything can come up actually when you take a moment to not grab your toe and say my toe hurts, because then you are separating yourself uh, from this uh, and your toes. Actually, my body is hurting right there down there where is the toe, but you actually are looking. You go inside with your eyes, you look and you just look at the pain or what's going on in the toe. You don't want to label it, you just want to look at it. You don't want to change it or understand it. Even there is not really an intention, there is just a awareness of something is happening in my body there, and
Yeah,
you go there with your attention. And the moment that you do that, you stop resisting. You breathe also. You know, there's breathing techniques involved
mm-hmm.
that will get you uh, in a quiet, more quiet state.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you detach yourself from experiencing it while resisting it and putting attention on it in a negative way, you will see that things can, because it came into your body and will flow out of your body when you step out of the way. And you can do that really easy by just taking a breath. And you do that a few times, and you can send sounds and waves of vibration through your body. And you know, you can ask your hand to help you, uh, and it's you direct it to wherever it is hurting. It can be in your neck, it can be in your shoulder, it doesn't matter. And then you are just feeling the magnetics, the energy of it. And but still you're not changing it. You are not labeling something is wrong or no. You're just, hey, something is happening. Okay, let's put our attention there, and let's feel, let's see what's going on in there. So then you detach yourself from any outcome also. You're just the observer. And then you will start to see that it flows out of your body just like it came. Sometimes you will get pictures or memories, or why did it come? Sometimes you will not get it. Maybe you have to get it again. Maybe it will come then. But something will happen for sure when you step out of the way and approach it from just an observing uh, um, um, state of being. And I experienced, or I experimented on myself with this because I really wanted to know, is this true? And yes, it's really true. And the more that I practiced, the faster the results. So that was
That was gold.
that,
That
that's
was
my answer.
gold, golden, golden stream.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And so you can do that also for diseases or illnesses or everything that is going on in the body. It's will tell you something when you step out of the way, and you have to thank your body, because it's an amazing tool that is showing you that you have to pay attention to something. So when you are in gratitude and you tell your body, wow, thank you for showing me what I need to pay attention to, you can rest now. I'm here and I'm listening, and you know, it's that is a taking control.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And it's like when we say these things, like what you just said, could have been a lot of things, you know. But when we speak it or express it, but if it's something particularly at this point, that's probably going to change. But particularly with the what, well, not so much what's said, but the tone of the chakra, the heart. It's really all of the lower chakras coming up as I see it. I'm just trying to explain it the way I see it, coming out through the throat chakra. And it's the energy. Like people that would hear something like that, or the things that we say to each other every day, carries a higher, you know, a higher ground. When it carries a higher ground, we're all, and that's what you were talking about in the beginning. Can we sit in a room, two of us together, and gain code from each other because we're aligned, basically? It's like the story with that little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of getting past the whole healer thing, because we know we're all healers, but some of us don't feel it. But it's like we're all healers to each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when you can hold that frequency, you will affect others around you, because they will merge with your higher vibration. You cannot go lower. If you remain where you are, they will become vibrating higher because of what you bring.
Yeah. And like with the little boy, you leave and you're vibrating higher. Yeah.
Yeah. And I had some crazy experiences with people that that are just mind blowing, really mind blowing. What can happen when you step away from conceptual thinking?
Yeah.
And just to say, you know what, I'm here to experience, and I'm open.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
That's
Because then you know, if you don't allow, nothing's gonna happen. I can do whatever I want. If you don't allow it, then it's
yeah.
you know.
So that's the that's an aspect of that question. The same question we had before at all times, every time, is, are you going to buy into whatever label you want to put on it? Matrix, ego, fear, tradition, pattern, behavior, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the line that divides, isn't it? And we're actually coming to the point, to the conclusion, to the reality that we're going to step over this line, and all this stuff is literally going to be gone.
Mm-hmm. You know, everything that we need to attain or to achieve says subconsciously that we are not there yet.
Yeah.
So it's a subconscious belief
True.
that is not coherent with what you are saying.
Thank you.
So it's not going to manifest. Yeah.
So here,
Did I say
I
that
love how
correct?
yes, you're absolutely wrong. I love how these questions follow. They're like, the question was asked and then you didn't know it. And you answered it basically. So Shaz says, so if they merge with your higher vibration, which I get, does this require extra self-care? Is this where I fall short? And your explanation to me would be like, well, we don't fall short. It doesn't, you know what I mean? I mean, it's like the conception, like you said, you take out of it.
Yes.
It's like I said earlier, I can't let that thought in that we are still in this, we don't use our minds or whatever you said earlier. But by the same token, you just said something to me that cleared me. And I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. It's not even a question as to whether or not we're going to get there or we haven't got there or it's in front of us. It's actually here. And that's what we're doing, I guess, anchoring that.
Yes. And that's what I've been teaching myself for the last 8 years, to stay in that awareness, to you know, it was kind of a job to transcend the old conditioning, the old programming, and but I believe that now it's much more faster for people. It doesn't have to be so long, and people are ready to move on quicker.
Yeah. Shez also says, or am I tired because of the energies coming in? I'd say, hell yeah, you are.
Yeah. Those are pretty intense energies, dude. Yeah. I have days that I can only sit like this. I don't want to think. I don't want to be.
I totally get that.
I just want to be.
Yeah, I get that. Walks, quiet. We like to go sit at the beach. A lot of times we'll just sit there and not say a word.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And conscious conversations.
Most definitely. Yeah. And besides that, I'm making cool videos with light language and tone and sound. And,
you want to put one on? You want to put one of those on?
Make my own art, and I make Yukiya's videos.
Oh, you do?
The grid working sessions that we do with groups. So yeah, that is quite awesome to do. It's very creative.
So do you have
time?
It takes a lot of time. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
No shit.
Behind the computer, and I want to get away from the computer, but you know what to do.
So what type of videos? Do you have like a music video or
I have,
or what would you want to put
up? Well, the one that I made with my beloved is actually kind of cool.
Okay, you want to send me the link?
Yeah, just a second.
It's a video or audio?
It's a video, Facebook video that we did.
Okay.
Let me see if I can. Is this it? Just a second.
So let me just take a second to tell everybody, thank you for your continued love and support contributions. We're primarily 100%, and I shouldn't say that, we're mostly viewer supported. And we're working on ways to expand other income streams and streams of abundance to keep building and expanding this thing. But thank you, everybody. We get a lot of people supporting us, and we really do appreciate it. And if these shows resonate, please share. I know I say that a lot, but it helps because we get suppressed every now and then. You got it? Did you send it to me?
I'm sending it now.
Okay, let me find it.
Boom.
Oh, there you go. All right, hang on. Oh, wait. All right. One second. Go in here. Go here. All right, let's do it. Man, that's some primordial stuff, man. It's
Cool,
like,
huh?
It's like ancient, really ancient primordial, and then light language.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Very cool, man.
This
Very
is
cool.
this is like cosmic relationship codes and tones, and people write amazing stuff what they feel when they listen to it. So
Wow.
you know,
Wow.
that's
It's amazing. It's amazing how these, yeah, it's amazing how these transmissions are coming from us to each other. And,
yeah,
and I almost want to say, I don't know, it doesn't even matter. I was going to say more than
I feel the last year very strong that all of you, all the people that I know since Soulogy, and there's many that I can mention, but I feel that all their energies are coming through me when I'm with people, not even healing or doing sessions in general.
yeah. Yeah.
This is how I feel.
We were actually shown, how does it go? The Soulogy is an energy, its own energy, its own consciousness. And as people come and bring their pureness, their whatever, authenticity, their the real them, they get back. Kind of like what you described. That may be exactly what it was shown.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd have to ask Morgan. But something very similar to what you said.
Yes.
Which is just, again, that's just the name. It's the energy. It's the energy. It's the energy. We're not deleting anything really. That's why it sounds a little strange to say the ego's obsolete, and that's why I put it into the video game kind of example. But
mm-hmm.
it's the energy.
Yes. Yes, I feel it very strong, and it makes me be very joyful also.
Yeah.
It's because it's big. It's big. It's
huge.
Really big.
Huge. Fucking huge, man. It is.
Yes. Yes.
Conscious conversation. I like that term. I love that term.
No more bullshit. You know, let's cut the crap. Do you,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Short track. I have a friend in Holland who is a channeler and known him for many years now, since 2005. And he saw me doing stuff many years ago while I was not at all thinking in that direction. I wanted to be a DJ producer and go fly all over the world and make a lot of money and have a lot of sex and drinks and drugs and rock and roll and
Man, I always wanted to do that when I was young.
and so I was waiting for him to tell me, yeah, man, that's gonna happen. But he said, no. He said totally different things. Yet my music would still be in the mix, but it would have a different, from a different angle, different awareness, consciousness, everything. So, but why was I telling you this?
You were giving me an example of how our memories are being swiped.
Yeah. He was telling me things that I'm doing today that 8 years ago I would say, really?
Yeah.
But
well, if you'd have told me 2 months ago that I would lay next, holding my wife's hand, a divine beloved partner's hand, for about 2 hours, and I'd have 200 female orgasms with just holding hands, I would have told you you're out of your mind.
yeah, exactly. Who you're kidding, you know?
Right, like, yeah. It's amazing. It's all amazing. Hey, so people are asking, where can they get your music? Well, just everything, whatever you want to tell us, whatever you need to tell us or want to tell us, or light language or channel or whatever you want to do. And all the above.
Where they can find me?
Yeah, they want. Elena wants to purchase one. Somebody else wants to know where they can find the music. And if you've got anything like a website, Facebook pages, social media pages.
Okay.
Or if you want to do some light language or channel or whatever, do some music, whatever you want to do. This is your time.
Cool. Well, I think I sent you a bunch of information with the email. Is that in the post, all those links? Because there's the websites and the groups.
Yeah, I put in, I think, the first two, because they were in the same box. But once you start getting separate boxes, you got to go back. And that's way too 3D for me to do. I can't do it. It's too many. I wouldn't be able to get on the show. I'd be all discombobulated. It was hard enough putting up the 4 posts I had to put up today. And all the
and then I send you this endless long list of information after.
Well, you can put them in the links. You can put them in the links.
Yeah, I will put some links in the comments after. Yeah. That is much easier than telling it. I want to. So people, you said somebody wants to buy music?
Yes.
Or a pendant maybe? Or I didn't get that totally. But anyway, it doesn't matter. What is the time? It's okay. What do I want to do? I don't know.
That's okay. That's all right. I don't know. It's a good thing to say.
Do you have questions, maybe?
Let me see. See if any questions come up.
My internet is unstable.
It is. Right. Well, I don't know. Just whatever you got over, 3, 4, 5 minutes as we close the show out.
Okay. Well, what I want to speak about, because light language, and I would love to do a topic on that, or maybe like a 20 minutes broadcast with you, only light language. But right now, I think I want to speak a bit about about the light walker pendant.
Okay.
Which is connected to the light walkers organization that we have birthed. I am really pro gifting economy. I really want to give and not to have to charge when people are sitting in front of me, because it's a human being that you know, if he wakes up, it will serve me as well. So why should I ask money for that? It doesn't. I cannot really make that work in my being. So I think it should come from different angles. So this pendant that we made, which is a light walker, not worker, not warrior, because we don't want to be in that duality anymore. I think we are walking. Now we can walk forwards or backwards, which is not really a judgment, it's just a direction. But light walkers is this pendant is actually reminding you to walk the light, to be part of something new, a new earth, a new human being, and it is supporting us in doing our work for, if it's possible, for free. Yeah. That is my wish. There's other stuff that we are going to make, t-shirts and all kinds of cool stuff, so that we can do what we love to do without having to ask money for that. Because you know, if you make something that is really your art, it's something different, that if you really want it, you can buy that. But this is not just a jewelry, it's, you are actually making somebody else's healing possible, somebody else's transformation or epiphanies or whatever you want to call it. You are not only buying this to, like, okay, that's nice. No, it has a meaning, it has a purpose, it is coded with our intent, with our vision. So everywhere where you will see this symbol, it will do something to you, as I have programmed it in energetically in a special ritual. So check out our website, Lightwalkers, light-walkers.org, and talk to us if you want to walk with us, if you want to co-create with us, if you have ideas. You know, we have a lot of stuff to do, and we can use all the hands that can help us in either money or services or whatever you can think of, to co-create with us, to make it possible to keep doing what we're doing, because we do what we do from love, not because I want to make money of it, but I have to eat. I have to start taking care of my family, which my family took care of me for 4 years now, and now I think it's really time that this is going to turn around.
That's thank you for your rawness, you know, and your realness and your authenticity and vulnerability. A lot of us have been there, where a lot of us are still there now. so this is part of the release, I think, and I think we have it within us to carry this, you know, well, as I call it, because that's what I was told, 5D commerce, which is about gifting. And like you said, you don't want to charge for what you do service-wise. You know, I mean, as a practitioner, and really you don't want to charge for anything you do, right? So it's really strange too, like everything else is. And I don't have any, you know, I have some experience, I guess, and I've watched others go through it and watch others make testimonies like you just did, and I did it about 20,000 times and could do it again. So what I'm trying to say is that it's about gifting forward. What I found, what we do, Morgan and I and the Soulogy people, even on an individual level, is we're pushing this hard expression out, and every single thing we do is an expression, whether people are seeing it or not seeing it, and to have the faith that it's coming back to you by whatever means it feels best, and it's something as good or better than we can imagine or we need or want. I had a conversation with the universe yesterday, and it was like, I was like, okay, because I read this post somebody shared. It was about this recent energy we're talking about, and they saw it through their client's testimony in a QHHT or some type of a session like that. They saw it as this plasma. It was plasma came onto the earth, and what they were saying is that this plasma was different. It was a higher level plasma that you could make your impression onto the plasma, and then it would give you that. So it was just saying, you know, this is the time to be diligent with our thoughts and our actions, of course, and all that, our time, our space, whatever. And I think that's what this is. I think that's what it is. I mean, that's part of these conscious conversations is we are releasing and gaining, you know, releasing old programming, like you said, and we're all at different levels. We're made up of different, infinite number of frequencies, and some you're here and some I'm there, and in the spectrum, depending on where you're standing on, that could be good or bad, or feel, you know, feel however it feels. But yeah, so yeah, for everyone watching the live and on the replay, check out Light Dash Workers, right?
Yeah, Light hyphen. That's the name of this little.
Light Dash Workers. Check out Walkers. I'm sorry. Check out YouTube, and I know you've got other links there. Please put them up.
I will put them.
You leave it on me, it won't happen. I only have to show up for one thing every day, and that's these shows. The rest of it, I make it sometimes, and sometimes I don't. You know how the energy is. But it's good to see you. I'm gonna find something to play Saturday night in downtown Kapa'a. We're gonna be at the Mandira, broadcasting from 6 to 8 Hawaii time. So that'll be like on Pacific, it'll be 9 to 10. New York will be 12 to 1. London will be early morning, and down under it'll be like late afternoon. So I'm gonna play at least one of your tunes on that. I'm gonna try to put as many people out there as possible. Maybe do in 2 hours, maybe do 20 minutes to 30 minutes of me talking, or you know, but the rest of it's going to be to put other people out there so we can share the genius and the creativity that we all have. It's code.
It is.
It's code.
It is code. Yes.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. Well, Morgan's making something that smells really good. I'm getting really hungry.
It's breakfast?
I don't know. Whatever. I don't even know what time it is. What time is it? 10, 11 over here in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it'd be a breakfast, lunch, or whatever. Yeah.
I think it's good if we connect whenever you can to speak about something, just you and me. How I have an idea how we can do something cool.
Yeah.
Which can bring in money. So.
Well, let's do it from here, and then whatever we want is going to come to us and more. But yeah, well, let's see. How about give me an hour? Are you going to be up? Okay.
Yeah.
Like at the top of the next hour. Let's see.
Perfect.
Yeah, about 50 minutes, something like that. All right. Thanks everybody for joining. Take care. We'll be back with Unity Grace and Guillermo Bastos. We'll be back in 1 hour and 50 minutes. And then after that, and after that, we're going to have John McIntosh, which we're really excited about. He's been around for years and years and years, as I understand it. And Courtney Beck at the end of the day. All right. See you later, Michael. Talk to you in 50 minutes.